going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave, and that little piece of Star Wars dubstep was by Sefa of Pefa, and that is a YouTuber who did a really good job with this dubstep to do some royalty-free Star Wars music. So make sure you go check that out. Make sure I will link that video in the description box so you guys can go check that out. I enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. So we are here. We are gathered here today on this joyous occasion to talk Star Wars. This is probably going to be my last video of the week as I am absolutely exhausted. But we're going to talk Star Wars, man, because it's been on my mind. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm surprised I got to see it as quickly as I could. And I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. I'm in love with the movie. I cannot even begin to try and say, well, I can nitpick. I think there's a lot of nitpicking that you could do in this movie. The fact that it is basically A New Hope with some of the best parts of Empire and Jedi thrown in, I think that's completely justified. There is so much to talk about. There's so much to get into. We're going to take your calls. I want to hear from you guys. That's really important to me on this one. 702-751-2902, or of course on Skype at davidvancura, davidvancura. I want to hear from you guys, and I'm very excited about this, man. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. Now, before we get into anything else, spoilers are ahead. So if you have not seen this movie and you are just deciding not to pay attention to the title of this show, spoilers. Spoilers. I'm talking about everything that happened in this movie. I'm going to talk about what I liked. I'm going to talk about the big reveals. And it's on you now. It's on you. By the way, quick shout out to Sal, the copious graphics guru. Look what he did. He did this in our incredible work. Once again, this graphic is fantastic. Does anyone have a better graphics guy than this dude? I love it. I love it. All right, so first, I wanted Daniel Hoover. He's like, was there no point to the Steamroller base, the Starkiller base, other than being a new Death Star without just building another Death Star? You needed a badass entity, so that's what they did. They had a planet that was capable of destroying multiple planets at the same time. I like the fact that it drained the power of a sun to do it. I thought that was kind of cool. Every system has a sun. Might as well destroy the damn thing. And destroy all it's very destructive. But we knew because of how the movie progressed that this was, A New Hope all over again in many, many ways, which some people are going to be upset about. Me, it did not bug me because the most important thing, and I know I'm jumping around. I'm going to start from the beginning here in a second. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It felt like Star Wars. It made me feel like Star Wars. It brought me back to everything that I loved about this movie and still love about this franchise. So I don't care about the fact that it was kind of formulaic as far as being a reboot of New Hope in a lot of ways. That doesn't bug me because I understand that it was kind of necessary. They needed to bring back fans. They needed to open a new door to all the new Star Wars fans that heard bad things about the prequels or, God forbid, only have seen the prequels. And I think this was a really good way to do that. I think they achieved that because everybody is going to be talking about Episode 8. Everybody wants to see it, which they start filming in January. Couldn't be more excited about that. This movie begins and just does not let you breathe. It punches you right in the face. It starts fast. There's just badassery. I like some of the differences, the changes. I like the fact that one of the main protagonists of the film is a stormtrooper. I also like the fact that they differentiated finally between clones and stormtroopers and explained what a stormtrooper was. They've never done that before in a movie. And I thought that was really cool. Having Finn, which, by the way, did anyone else catch that his designation number was also Princess Leia's cell number in New Hope? That's a love letter. I love that stuff. This movie was a giant love letter to Star Wars, and I appreciated that. So it really was. J.J. Abrams wrote a beautiful love letter to Star Wars, and we should all be happy about it. But you don't have to be happy about it. If you don't like the movie, you don't like the movie. That's completely fine. So I like the fact that we had Finn, who was, a conflicted character. His first battle, he was in sanitation, very funny at times, but just could not deal with the reality of his situation, so he ran. And I thought you could feel that. It felt very real, and I thought it was cool. Very well done, a little bit different. And then you bring in everything else that happens, with some of the new characters. The other main new character, obviously, being Rey, who I believe is just an absolute badass. I think she's wonderful. She did a great job. The actress did a great job. The character was able to really come across well as this new hybrid Han Solo, Luke Skywalker hybrid character, I feel. It's pretty cool. Even though I think overall, Finn is going to be more of the Luke-ish character. I do believe, by the way, that Rey is Luke's daughter. I think that is going to happen. I know the fact that I think the title Force Awakens tells you more about what's happening. The fact the movie changed when Rey touched that lightsaber. When Rey touched that lightsaber and she got the vision and heard all the voices, Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor's were both in there as young and old Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought that was cool. She changed from that point on, and everyone's like, well, how could she possibly beat somebody who is so powerful in the Force like Kylo Ren and all that stuff? And that's, you can make that argument if you want, but I feel like she is the new chosen one. She's going to be that person who, she might even turn out to be the prophesized person, that one that really does actually does achieve balance in the Force. And I think that could explain why she was so powerful in the Force. But the fact that she was able to do the things that she was able to do so quickly, it all happened after she got the vision. So it's just like it was unlocking her destiny. The Force was literally awakened within her. And I feel that maybe that was like the one missed opportunity. It was the one missed opportunity that they had. They did not kind of touch on that more, It was pretty damn interesting to me that the new Yoda character, who I loved, I can't remember her name to save my life right now, but the one who owned the new cantina, which, again, it was Episode 4, it was A New Hope, that we even had a new cantina, and it was awesome. She said it. She even said this belonged to Anakin and Luke Skywalker, and now it calls to you. It doesn't call to everybody. We know that because what's his name? Finn, he touched the damn lightsaber too. It called to her because I think it's in her bloodline. So I do believe that she is part of the Skywalker family. There's just so much about the movie that I loved. So many things that I can rant and rave and talk and just kind of gush over the movie for hours and hours and hours, because there's so many things that I just had so much fun with while watching. Was it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Not even close to perfect. But are any Star Wars movies perfect? No, we love them. Even the ones that people love the most, 1, 2, and 3, or 4, 5, and 6, the original trilogy. Everybody's like, yeah, you can't say they're not the Maltese Falcon. They're Star Wars, and that's what's so damn cool about it, and that's what's so much fun about it. And the coolest thing for me, and not to get too personal here, but I took my daughter, my wife, who's sitting next to me, just absolutely abhorring this Star Wars nerdery talk. You hate Star Wars and you know it.
I don't hate
You
it.
hate Star Wars.
I don't hate it.
Just say it. You want to punch Star Wars in the face.
No, I won't.
You want to punch me in the face.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. She didn't go. The wife didn't go. She decided that she was going to take... Oh, by the way, Kylo Ren shirt, bitch. Yeah, Kylo Ren shirt. It's badass. Got it in my nerd block today. Boop, boop. Anyway, she decided to go shopping while I took the kid to see Star Wars. And my daughter having that moment, to bond with her in a way that I've always wanted to do. I have a great relationship with my daughter, but my dream has always been to have a kid and me sitting at a Star Wars movie and having that connection. Because for 10 years, I have not been able to get her into Star Wars. I have tried desperately. Couldn't do it. But this movie did it. She goes, I'm fine. The movie's over. And she was holding my hand when Han died and everything. She really did feel. She knows Star Wars. She's seen me watch it. So these characters did mean a little something to her. So when Han died, she gripped my hand and she was emotional about it. And then after the movie, she goes, Daddy, it finally happened. I love Star Wars. She goes, that was breathtaking. And it just melted my goddamn heart. So there were so many things that I loved about it. Let's talk about the big stuff. Let's talk about Han Solo not only being the father to Kylo Ren, which I don't think was a shock to anybody, but dying again, something else that didn't seem to be a shock for anybody. I don't think it was surprising. I think it was kind of obvious that it was coming. This movie felt like it was Han Solo's swan song. We got to see a lot of things that made us love Han so much. And Harrison Ford absolutely owned the movie. While he was on screen, it almost felt like he overshadowed everybody else, but did a really good job of bringing them into the, kind of giving them the rub and wrestling talk, giving everybody else the rub as well. But he was very much Han Solo, and he did a fantastic job of just kind of referencing things of the past, saying his goodbye to Leia, all these things that he did, and having a really emotional, cool moment with Kylo Ren, who, by the way, did anyone else notice that they named him Ben? Come on, man, an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing, that's fantastic. They named him Ben. When he screamed Ben and Kylo turned around like that, I loved it. I knew it was coming, but it didn't matter. And then fucking Chewie going ape shit, get it? Ape shit after after his death was great. Ace Dace said, Dave, one of these days you're going to die during the stream for liver failure. I'm not drinking. Do I sound drunk?
Oh, maybe he's retarded.
Don't be mean to people, baby.
Hey, look what he's writing.
Well, he just said that he was concerned about my liver.
You're not only that.
You didn't have to call him retarded. Okay, my wife thinks you were being mean, Ace Dace, so she called you retarded. Whether or not you were being mean, you probably were, because everyone is mean. But no, I'm drinking water. I ain't drinking liquor. I did have a very alcoholic eggnog, though. I went out with my wife today, which turned out to be a mistake because I'm exhausted. That's why I'm not doing SmackDown tonight. I'm absolutely exhausted. So I went out with my wife. We went to the Weihnachtsmarkt, which is the Christmas market here in town. One more day left on that. And we walked around because my daughter had a meet-up with her friends. And I was dying in pain, so she got me a eggnog that had all the liquor in the world in it. And it was very hard to drink, but tasty.
It's still if you write joke behind it. It doesn't make it funny or anything.
If you didn't hear that, my wife says it's still mean, even if you write joking behind it. It's still mean. Jordan Turner says, "No, yeah." So did I finish my story about being out? Yeah, I had eggnog. It was good. Jordan Turner says BB-8 is so low key, so sweet. He's awesome, but R2-D2 will always be the favorite. But BB-8 was amazing. BB-8 was amazing. I loved him. I thought he was a great character. I liked the fact that he was fast, he was nimble, he was quick. I thought it helped with the storytelling. You don't always have to wait on R2 waddling around. I mean, I'm R2. I'm even wearing blue today. Beep, boop, beep, bop, boop. I'm R2. That was for you.
Thank you.
But I mean, there's so much about it. It was so good. And now, my wife saw the look on mine and my daughter's face when we came out of the theater. She goes, I regret not going. $525 million in 5 days. That's more than that now, I'm sure. This movie is an absolute world beater. Some people are not going to be happy about it. Apparently, Tommy C., my good buddy, is not happy about it. He said, I want my money back. I saw this movie 30 years ago. Well, we kind of knew this was going to happen, but, it's all right. Tommy's Tommy. XLT Live Podcast in the chat. That's too tall. I'm here. Just have it muted. Not a Star Wars fan, not a huge Star Wars fan, but I still don't want to be spoiled. But here for the support. Too Tall's the man. Too Tall is the man. Since I had to write that because he can't hear me because he's got it on mute. So it was. Thanks for being here, Too Tall. I appreciate that. Ace Dace, I appreciate you being here. Jordan Turner, Gun Cannon, Pittsburgh Boy, New SF Boy, Daniel Hoover, Jordan Turner, Patrick Glenn, all you guys. I really appreciate y'all being here. I'm going to go ahead and make Patrick the moderator tonight. He said maybe Rey is Obi-Wan's daughter. I don't see how that's possible because by the time... Yeah, she's young, and he was pretty old when we saw him, so his nuts had to be just completely withered and, dusty. He came dust, more than likely. It's not dust, Luke. It's the Force. There's just so much. Oh, Pittsburgh Boy, I'm sorry that I miss you. Pittsburgh Boy in the chat. What's up? So now we're going to open up the calls, man. Yeah, I thought the movie's a 9, not because it's some amazing piece of film heritage and, it's like, this is what you need to make great, brilliant movies. No, I give it a 9 because it was Star Wars. It was unapologetically Star Wars. 101 Mr. Richmond's in the chat. What's up, boy? Blood of Massey. I don't know. So it was great. It was great. Don't worry, Pat. It doesn't matter if you do any moderating or not. I just made you moderator. Someone needs to have a wrench. You don't have to do anything. Just go to sleep. I'm going to sleep soon too. This is not going to be a long show, especially if I don't get any callers. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm opening it up to the callers. You guys can call in on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or the phone number 702-751-2902. You can go ahead and call in. You could also make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And also, go ahead, and if you feel like it, donate to the channel. Right in the description box below, you can donate and have yourself a Merry Star Wars Christmas. There you go. So, yeah, I give it a 9. I thought it was really good. It was entertaining. It was fun. There was absolutely no bullshit to it. There was no slow parts. They filled in the good parts of the story that they needed to talk about and fill in. They did a really good job with that, I felt. Whether or not, just because there's some redundancy issues as far as seeing it in New Hope, that didn't bother me. Again, I loved it so much. So let's go ahead and take a call. 856, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Yo, Dave, it's Pat from East Philly.
It's Pat from East Philly. What's going on, my friend? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man.
I know you love Star Wars, man. I know you saw it and you loved it.
Yeah, and I got my little guy we watched The New Hope, and he loved it.
That's awesome. It's
the
good.
first words when he saw the Millennium Falcon for the first time, he goes, "That thing's not a piece of junk."
Yeah, I love that, by the way, in the movie in Force Awakens. I didn't even I guess I probably should have saw it coming that they were going to get into the Millennium Falcon, but I didn't. When they said, "Let's get into this one because it's fast." What about the other one? It's closer. It's a piece of junk, or it's garbage. And they go, "Okay, let's go with the garbage." And it was the Falcon. I was like, "Yay! It's the Falcon."
Did you notice when Finn was trying to find stuff to help
yes, the ball,
the floating ball?
Yeah. Yep, that was awesome. Ace Dace pointed out that Rey's house was an AT-AT. Yes, it was, and it was awesome. Did anyone catch the blue milk she was drinking? She was drinking blue milk. So many Easter eggs. This is a movie that when I get it on Blu-ray, I'm going to watch it over and over and over and over and over and obsess over it because I got 2 years to obsess over it. May 2017 is episode 8.
But Dave, we don't have to wait for another Star Wars movie. We got Rogue One coming out next December.
That's true. But I want a continuation of this story,
I know. And then we have episode 8, and then we've got the Han Solo movie.
Yeah. There's a lot there. I really do hope that that we get to see a movie that's just about the 30 years that we just missed. I don't want a prequel. I just want to see Han and Leia's bringing up of Ren. I want to see Ren training with Luke. I want to see Luke building, because apparently he built a new Jedi Order and Ren tore it down, and Luke couldn't deal with it, so he went into seclusion. Also, I did not mind that Luke was in a movie for 2 seconds and didn't talk. I thought that was awesome.
That's what I wanted them to do.
I loved that. I felt it didn't look forced. He did not look like a guy who was waiting to be found. He looked very dirty and rugged and just trying to live out the rest of his days. I thought that was really cool and really well done. Her just standing there holding out the lightsaber to him, all the emotion on her face. It was great. I just loved I love the fucking movie.
Yeah, well, I walked out of that with, I'm like, I have to see this again.
Yeah. I didn't see it in 3D either. I saw it in 2D.
I didn't see it in 3D either.
Yeah, I was really lucky to find a movie over here that was in English, so that was good. I could have saw it in 3D, but I didn't want to wait another day. Basically, I was like, let's just go today. So
they say that it's a lot better in 2D than it is in 3D. A lot of my friends have said that.
Yeah, I think it's a movie that would definitely work in 3D, obviously, because of all the visual stuff. But for me, I'm just an old fart, and I kind of wanted to feel it in just straight up 2D, and it worked for me. I loved it. I was very happy with it.
One of the big things that I really liked about it was the lightsaber battle at the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't no flippy bullshit.
No.
Choreographed shit. They were hacking the shit out of each other.
I think it's my second favorite lightsaber battle in all the movies. For all the faults of Episode 1 Phantom Menace, that lightsaber battle at the end is badass. There's no question.
I like the one between Anakin and Obi-Wan on the.
I hate that. You want to talk about flippy dippy? But it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. Fuck you. It was stupid. That bugged the shit. You underestimate my power. It bugged the fuck out of me. No, for me, it's the Phantom Menace one. This at the end, and I'm talking the entire sequence. First with Finn, and then with Rey. I thought it was awesome. And then finally, after that, it's Jedi, Luke and Vader's lightsaber battle in Jedi.
I had a couple funny incidents with the same couple that was in the theater when I went and saw it the first time. When Finn turns the lightsaber on for the first time, this black couple behind me, they went, about time they gave a brother a lightsaber.
Yeah, there was some progressive stuff in this movie, some social justice kind of things, I guess, in some ways. But, like when Finn was going to go save Rey at the beginning of the movie, but she just kicked the shit out of everybody and didn't need it. I don't think that was too over the head social justice-y or progressive. It just kind of is. She's a badass, plain and simple. Some people are upset at my hatred over the fucking Anakin versus Obi-Wan battle in Sith. For me,
Revenge of the Sith.
It was too much. It was too much. Come on, it was on a lava planet, and it was far too much. It didn't really seem like it had any emotion. Not like this one in Episode 7.
I just like it because they were hacking the shit out of each other.
But it felt so emotional. Like you could feel Ren's still just having. He was conflicted with killing his father. You could tell there was a lot going on there, which is why I like the scene so much. Also, I don't mind the fact that he took off the mask and he was kind of emo. I thought that was actually
fine too.
Huh?
And did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, I did a little bit, not much.
His mask looked just like Darth Revan's mask.
Yeah.
But the other story that I had with the same African American couple that was in the theater, the scene where Han dies.
Yeah.
Everybody, I jumped. I knew it was coming, but I jumped, and I had, the whole theater gasped. But the same couple, the girlfriend goes, "Oh hell no!"
It was.
There was a couple crying in front of me when he died.
Yeah, it was definitely emotional. It was a really powerful scene that, while being predictable, yeah. Daniel Hoover's like, no emotion in the Anakin Kenobi. Yeah, there's no emotion in one fucking line that Hayden Christensen gives in that entire trilogy. Or I'm sorry, he was only in the second two of the movies. There was none, zero. I have the high ground.
I don't like the I don't like the feel of sand. It's so coarse.
Yeah, right. He sucks so bad. Oh my god.
But I'm sorry, Daisy Ridley, who played Ray, she stole the show.
Yeah, he did. I thought he did. Yeah, she did. You said
I
Ray,
want to
right?
see more of Poe Dameron.
Oh
Poe's
yeah,
my
I
favorite.
thought Poe was. I like the fact that they teased his death. Apparently, he was actually supposed to die. So it was kind of messed up when he just showed back up with very little explanation. But I thought it worked. Poe is too cool. I think we have a new bromance. We have a new Han and Luke with Finn and Poe, and I thought it was awesome.
That was my best friend Kenny's only his drawback. There's too much bromance between Poe and Finn.
I don't know.
Before the movie started for you, did you get the commercial with the kid making the R2D2 and handing the movie tickets to the chick?
You gotta remember, I saw this here in Germany.
Oh, okay, so you didn't see that.
No, unfortunately, I got 30 minutes of actual fucking commercials, and a few. It was Germany movie theaters are just different,
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Because there's a commercial that showed before the Star Wars movie with this kid making an R2D2, and he sends it over to this girl, and it opens up, and R2D2 hands her the tickets, and it's will you go with me? Some guy in the back of the thing after the commercial hit, and he went, "Nerd."
You can't yell out "nerd" while you're at Star Wars. It doesn't work.
Everybody got a chuckle out of it. It's kind of funny.
But Jesus, you're at Star Wars.
My main question is, where the hell did they get Anakin's lightsaber?
That is a really good question. But you know what? I think that's going to be answered with who that character is. What's her name? Yeah, who I loved. She was a scene stealer, wasn't she? Where's my boyfriend? As in Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I thought that was really, really cool. My wife is going to sleep. May the force be with you, babe. Have a good night's sleep.
You too.
Thank you.
Tell your wife I say that. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Patrick Glenn says.
Same to him.
Same to you, she says, in a German way.
All right, Dave. I know you probably got a lot of callers.
No, I got no callers. I got nothing. I'm about
no callers, really.
I'm about to get up out of here. You're my only one.
Do you feel that Episode 8 is going to be darker?
Yes. I feel just like Empire was darker. I feel that as Empire went on, it took on a very dark tone. I feel that this will do the exact same thing. I think they're definitely going to go back into that same type of feel. Empire for me is the best Star Wars movie. By the way, I rank Episode 7 right behind Empire. I loved Episode 7. Loved it. It was great for me. So
it's number 3 on my list.
Yeah, probably behind New Hope, if I had to guess.
New Hope, yeah. It bumped Revenge of the Sith out of the way out of number 3 spot.
Yeah.
Because I actually liked Revenge of the Sith. I
didn't. Because any good parts that they actually had going on with some of the character development up to that point, especially, Padme, they turned into her barefooted housewife, man. It was terrible, and she had no power. Now I got callers, Patrick Glenn, so I appreciate it. Now I got a lot of callers. Holy shit.
All right, Dave. May the force be with you, and
As
Merry
you
Christmas
as well,
to you,
my
boss.
friend. Merry Christmas, buddy. Take it easy.
All right, man.
All right, we got a lot of callers now. Sod Villa, now we got a lot of callers, so troll on so I can get you out of here, Sod. What did you think of Star Wars?
It was good, 8.5 out of 10. But what's the thing with these Jedis and they just go into hiding once they failed their mission? I mean, Luke Skywalker went into hiding. Yoda went into hiding. I mean, Obi-Wan was in hiding too. What's up?
Well, Yoda went into hiding because it was being completely torn apart, and he went into hiding. Luke went into hiding. I don't think because the Jedi Order got his Jedi Order that he was building got torn apart. I think it was because of how it got torn apart. The fact that it was his nephew that did it. I mean that's something else. That's gonna, and hopefully more of that story will be told in Episode 8.
What needs to happen is fucking Liam Neeson somehow come back as Quin Jong-un or
Yeah,
whatever his name was.
Qui-Gon. Jesus. Quin Jon
That was the best thing from the prequels.
Quin Jon E. Qui-Gon
best thing.
Jinn. What the hell's the matter with you? Was that epilepsy? Did you just have a stroke?
I don't know, dude, because I hated the Phantom Menace so much, so I don't know his name.
I did too. It really upset me.
The only good thing about that movie was him and Darth Maul.
Yeah, that lightsaber battle was badass. I love that. So that whole scenario.
I'm just confused on like in The Force Awakens, like how Finn can pick up a lightsaber and just be like okay with it. I mean, come on now.
Well, no,
Totally
he's a soldier. I mean, he knows how to use different weaponry. It's just a sword made out of light. I mean, it's not like you need some special training to use a sword out of light. You don't want to cut yourself with a regular sword, so you don't want to cut yourself with this one either. So that didn't bug me. Juan Morales in the chat. What's going on, Juan Morales?
But that's all I have. Just give my rating for Star Wars 8.5 out of 10.
Hey, I
And I'm
appreciate
looking
it, Saad.
forward to
I bet it needed more Eva Marie.
Yeah. Oh, well, she needs to be the champ one day. That's just a given.
Take it easy, Saad.
If people want to care about the Divas division, she needs to be champ.
No,
that's
goodbye. Daniel Hoover, you're live at Dead on Dave. What'd you think of Star Wars, man?
Hey, I was there opening night at my IMAX. I saw it in glorious 75mm screen, one of only 8 in America. It was fucking amazing.
I'm sure it was, man. You sound really hyped about it too.
Oh no, you have no idea, man. I'm the biggest Star Wars fan. I mean, my dad took me to go see Phantom Menace. You know, I've loved Star Wars ever since.
I have to. I've been a Star Wars fan for every second of the 32 years I've been on this planet. And The Force Awakens really felt like a love letter, written by J.J. Abrams to Star Wars. And he did a great job with it. I'm very excited to see what the next director does. I think it should be really, really exciting. We're going to be talking about it for the next 2 years. Everybody's going to be talking about it.
No idea. What I have, I've seen it 4 times now. I've been there.
Oh,
I've been there
already?
4 times.
Holy shit, dude. That's like once a day.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, dude. Oh, man. I've been taking my friends. I was like, hey, when you go see Star Wars.
That's awesome.
I take my friends to go see it. And I have, after the 4 times I've seen it, you start seeing the repetitiveness of it. And I can definitely see why people keep saying, oh, it's A New Hope. And
it is. It is A New Hope. But I don't think that's a negative. I don't think it's a negative.
I think it is. I think it is when you really start to nitpick at it. You can definitely see that this movie has barely any originality to it.
Agreed. Again, didn't bother me.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, it didn't bother me when I first saw it. It didn't bother me at all. It's a gloriously entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Entertaining throughout, and I'm not saying nobody should see this movie or you should hate this movie by any standard, but I felt the Star Killer base was completely unneeded. There was no reason for that base.
It just goes back to the whole formula of A New Hope. They needed something menacing and big and something that could be blown up. So, and a spherical object can be blown up relatively easily. It's a planet. I thought it gave them more to work with, and for anything else, it was a menacing fucking base. I mean, Jesus.
It is a menacing base. I'm not saying it wasn't. What made the Death Star menacing though was the fact that they blew Leia's planet up, but you felt the emotion when they blew it up. Like, it was a big deal when they blew that planet up. When they blew an entire star system up in that movie, I swear to God, everybody just kind of shrugged it off.
Yeah, it did
for a second.
Killing the Republic didn't really feel like it had any impact because there was no backstory of what the Republic has done in the 30-year absence, and I think that's why it kind of fell flat. I did like that we got to see a scene, from a viewpoint from one of the planets that were getting blown up. I did think that kind of helped a little bit because we didn't get that from Alderaan. When Alderaan got blown up,
that frustrated me to no end because I don't know what planet that is. And
I get that, but
trying to figure out what planet that was. I'm like, what planet was this? Nobody knows. I was waiting for them to tell me. They never did, and they brushed it. the entire rest of the movie.
It just needed to be blown up. I mean, that system just needed to be blown up. It was just a vehicle to move on to the next plot point. And I can see why that's frustrating. I can totally get why it's frustrating.
I mean, besides that, I mean, you can't even say that Finn, Rey, or Poe, that they're original characters. Literally,
Yeah.
Poe, Rey, and Finn is Luke Skywalker separated into 3 different people.
In a lot of ways, yeah. I think you add a little bit of all 3 of the main characters from New Hope, from the entire Star Wars trilogy, really, and you kind of mix them up into all 3 of them. I think we see a little bit of Leia, Luke, and Han in all 3. Poe obviously has the most Han in him of the 3. He was very Han-ish,
Yes.
and I enjoyed that. I think Poe probably has the least amount of Luke in him of the 3, but Rey and Finn, absolutely.
I know, you could definitely get the characterization from Luke in each one. You know, the wandering loner, you know, she's on a desert, and you get Poe, who's the fighting ace, he's confident in his abilities, but he has that cocky, suave nature of Han at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you just have the hearted, you know, joy in Finn. And I feel like you take the entire ride with Finn, I feel, more than you do Rey. Rey is the main character, but I feel like Finn is like that front car for me. I don't know why, but he just is. I feel like he's seeing the universe in the same way as, you know, anybody, like your daughter. You know,
because
I feel like
fresh.
Finn is more of a,
He's seeing it freshly for the first time. I loved the visual at the beginning of the movie with the blood getting smeared on his helmet. I thought that was really, I thought that was cool. I thought it was a really good nuance, and him just not being able to deal with it. I loved his antics throughout the movie. You know, how jovial he was at getting a little bit of revenge at his superiors, things like that. I loved his interaction with Han. I loved Finn. I thought he was a great character. But he had some badassery to him as well, and his explanation was simple. Why did you do it? Because it was the right thing to do. Doesn't get much more simple than that.
Yes, they're all great characters, and like I said, I'm not trying to diminish the movie in any way. I'm just seeing there's a lot of. You could tell they were playing safe. You could tell they were definitely playing safe.
They had to.
Every single aspect.
Look, if with the prequel, they tried to get ambitious at times, and it didn't work. It alienated a fan base. This movie, its main fucking goal was to bring everyone back, and I think they did that. They brought people back to the franchise. Star Wars is important again. And isn't the world just a better place when Star Wars is important?
Oh yeah. Oh, you have no idea. And for all those people out there that call Kylo Ren a bitch, okay, first off, he barely has any training whatsoever.
That's true.
He has a sliver of training above Rey.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you try to say, like, oh, well, Rey almost beat him and she's never even picked up a lightsaber, I was like, well, you know, he's only had very minimal training from Luke, and, you know, Snoke just grabbed him.
Yeah. I think it's significant. I think it's really significant that the changes in Rey after she touched the lightsaber. When she touched the lightsaber, I feel that was a Force Awakening, and everything just kind of flooded through. She's the chosen one.
The most literal sense possible.
Yeah, it's a perfect name of the movie for that reason, because she had that flood of all of the voices from the past and everything, and they actually chopped up Alec Guinness to make him say Rey's name. They chopped up a line.
Oh yeah,
from New Hope to get him to say Rey's name, and they had what's his name, Ewan McGregor. They had him record a line. They even had new Yoda dialogue, but they didn't use it.
Yeah. I heard Frank Oz did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he did. He's still kicking.
What I think everybody's like not really have their eyes on is the Knights of Ren, and I have this giant hunch that Luke didn't just lose Kylo in that ensuing battle between him and Snoke. Mm-hmm. Luke didn't just lose Kylo to the dark side; he lost all of them.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be pointed out, is that unlike when Anakin destroyed the Jedi Order, he killed the Jedi. I don't think Kylo did that. I think they turned Luke's people. And that's why Luke took it so hard. I think you're 100% right.
Yeah. And that's what I'm excited for. I mean, the movie ended spectacularly. I'm just glad I got to see Mark Hamill. I didn't really care if he said anything. I like that right there. That's like a pure launching point.
Yeah.
You know, I'm already ready for the next one.
He looked great. I thought they had a really good connection, him, and I want to see if they're going to do the Dagobah thing where he's going to train Rey. I have no idea how that's going to go. I thought it was really cool. If they go that way, there's going to be the same outcry of, oh, they're just doing the same thing over and over. I don't care as long as it's entertaining and it makes me feel like this. If I feel like this after the next 2 movies, I don't give a fuck. I'm happy.
Well, that's the fantastic thing about this movie is this is the hook, and that's why they played it safe. And I think with that, I think they can be a lot more creative with what they do. I mean, it's the same thing with Marvel. You know how safe Marvel played it, and now look what they're doing. They're doing like a Doctor Strange fucking movie. They just did Ant-Man.
They just did Ant-Man, and it worked. Yep. You know, so
So yeah, I mean, and you got the Han Solo movie is being directed and written by the 2 brothers who directed and wrote the Lego movie. Yeah. So I'm excited. Rogue One is going to be amazing. They have stunt cinematographers and stunt coordinators from Saving Private Ryan for this movie. Apparently, like it's going to be the war in Star Wars.
They're going for it.
Yeah, Rogue One looks amazing. I'm really excited for that movie.
You think Disney paid $4.2 billion to let fucking Star Wars just sit with Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, whatever the hell they called that stupid movie, as to let that be the defining characteristic? No, they're rebuilding this, and they're doing a great job doing it.
I think the bad thing about that is I don't think they'll ever really return to that era in Star Wars for a long time, and that really bothers me because there's so many stories you could tell in that era as well. Like what I want, I mean, we're seeing Rogue One come out in between these movies. We're seeing the Han Solo movie. I want to see an Obi-Wan movie with Ewan McGregor.
Sure, I mean, yeah, I could see that. I would like to see that. That would be a lot of fun, but I don't want over inundation either. You know, let's see how things go. Let's see how Rogue One goes. Let's see how the Han Solo movie goes. I think people still want to see a Boba Fett movie. You know, I think that's still. There's been rumors of that for a long time.
Oh, the Boba Fett movie's happening. Kathleen Kennedy has confirmed that Boba Fett movie's happening.
Okay, well, I'll take what she says, and that works for me. Let me take some more calls, man. I really appreciate the call, man. Great call, Daniel Hoover. Actually, goddamn, good call.
Not a problem, man. You take care.
Take it easy, buddy. Let's get some more callers in. Gun Cannon 15, you're live dead on Dave. What did you think of Star Wars, man?
Well, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, my rating, I'm going to give it like a 9.7, 9.8 out of 10. Wow. There were little things, not even remotely problems that I would say could affect the rest of the series.
Yeah. You can nitpick, and I think Daniel Hoover and I just did that, and I think that it's completely warranted. People are going to say that, you know, it was repetitive. We've seen the movie told before, and those are all completely valid points. But if it's done well, does it really matter? And for me, it was done well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, when you guys were talking about the Star Killer planet, and he was like, nobody knew about what that was like, I got to call in and let him know. That was Coruscant.
That was Coruscant.
That was Coruscant, which is why they said they killed the Republic. Absolutely.
See, that means something. That was. Yes. I did not know Coruscant got. I didn't even know Coruscant survived the original situation. Wow, that's intriguing. Okay.
Yeah. When he said that they were going to take one shot and just kill the Republic, and they fired it, my wife and I were watching it, and she looks and goes, they're killing Coruscant. I'm like, oh, they're going to take every planet out around it just to make sure.
Wow. That's interesting. I'd like to confirm that. That's interesting. I think you're right, because that makes sense. And maybe that's why they didn't just say, because they were expecting us nerds to know it. But that's a good catch. You and your wife deserve a cookie or a cuddle or something. That's a good job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other way that you'll realize it too is when you're watching the beam hit it. If you look, that planet's lit up like a Christmas tree, and Coruscant's just a city planet, so makes sense.
That's true. That was awesome. What else did you like about it, man?
I actually liked a lot of the nuances where people are saying, "Oh, it's just a repeat of the original 3." You're right, because they have to set up for the other 2, which probably won't be a repeat.
You know, a lot of people had the same type of thing after Phantom Menace. You know, Tommy C tells this story about listening to a bunch of nerds talk about, well, this sets up this and this sets up that, and he just walked up to him and said, "Did you like the movie? Was it entertaining? Was what you saw entertaining?" And the nerds didn't answer. This is not like that, because if you ask that same question to people like us who are saying, well, it sets up this and sets up that, we could say this movie was fantastic, but the reasons why some of the safe things that they did was to get everybody back so 8 and 9 can matter. And I think they accomplished it.
Yeah. And I think what you'll even see, and this is something I've been looking or kind of, thinking about is I mean, they killed off Han in this movie.
Yeah.
So if we're going 3 movies and we've got Luke, Leia, and Han, maybe we're going to just start dropping characters, not kill them, but they're just going to walk away so that it can become its own standalone series.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility. I don't necessarily want to see Leia or Luke die. I really don't. I think Han's made sense. I think it worked. It served a purpose. Just for Chewbacca's reaction alone. Holy shit.
God, that was, as soon as that happened, I looked at I went, oh my God, Wookiee rage. No.
Wookiee rage. Hashtag Wookiee rage. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And a little, surprisingly enough, this was something I was reading a lot before the movie, is everybody was upset about the lightsaber that Kylo Ren had and the crossguard on it.
I thought it worked.
It worked, and it's fantastic, and everybody's like, well, it doesn't make sense. Well, you've got the people that are hardcore into it who explain why it worked, and the other reason why it worked is because it was the crossguard that killed Han.
Yeah, oh, that's right, it was.
Yeah, because if you look, when he's holding the lightsaber, it's the crossguard that's pointed at Han, so he just apparently switched up how much energy was going into it and killed him with the crossguard. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it totally works.
That's pretty cool. I think one thing I haven't talked about yet during this show that I do want to talk about, and you sound like a guy to definitely talk about with it, is Snoke. Some people loved Snoke in the movie. Other people think it was a waste of Andy Serkis, whatever his name is, who's one of the best motion actors in the world. This is what he does. He does mocap. It's what he does, and he did Snoke. Some people are a little bit frustrated with Snoke because he didn't really do or say anything of importance, and I think you can make that argument. I think it's because the bombshell that will inevitably be dropped on who Snoke really is. I think that's why he was just there and why he was so large, too. I don't know if that's how he's actually going to be, but he was so big. The visual was so big of him. And not everybody's going to know who this is, but I feel that Snoke is Darth Plagueis. I think that's who he's going to be. Very small referenced character, but he is the Sith of all Sith, and he's the guy who trained, Palpatine, and this is the guy. This is the one that it was. In fact, his abilities that Palpatine used to entice Anakin over to the dark side. The ability to control life and death. Basically, he's able to control midichlorians and basically keep himself alive. And that's who I think Snoke is going to inevitably be revealed as.
That's actually a really good concept. I mean, and it even plays off of how, last guy was talking about how Kylo Ren's mask looked like the other Sith Sith Master, and it does actually make a lot of sense. So Plagueis would definitely be interesting. As far as how much he was in the movie and, how much he was used. I mean, look at the bang that Mark Hamill got for the literal, half a minute that you saw him in the movie. I know as soon as I saw, Rey walk up to the top of the hill and the cloak figure is like, yep, here's your minute and a half of Luke, and then they're going to go to credits.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same way.
You think that's going to be the location of the first Jedi Temple?
It has to be. I mean,
you would think.
If that's what he was going out and looking for, that would definitely make sense that it's there.
It's kind of cool. I love this movie, man. I really did enjoy it, and it sounds like you did too. I appreciate the call, man. Any last things you want to say about Star Wars?
Well, kind of go back on your lightsaber battle as far as the top ones. I'll take that fight between Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put one above it that probably completely got looked over. It's gonna be General Grievous versus Obi-Wan.
God, I couldn't stand General Grievous. I'm with you because it was interesting and it was a little bit different, but I just couldn't stand General Grievous.
He comes off doesn't come off very well in the movie, but if you actually go back and read the backstory and even surprisingly enough watch the Clone Wars, his story makes how he acts and the way he is just perfect. And once I read that and then went back and watched, it's like, that's a really good fight.
What's your favorite Star Wars book? I'm just wondering.
Surprisingly enough, I haven't really gotten a chance to read all of them.
It sounds like you read a lot. Okay, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I have a friend who has read through all of the books and likes to recite them like the Bible.
There's one in the expanded universe that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite sci-fi authors, fantasy authors, I should say. Ari Salvatore. He wrote Death Troopers, which is basically zombie stormtroopers, and it's amazing. It's really, really good.
I've heard of that one. I've actually gotten that one kind of quoted back to me, so I may have to pick that up and read it.
It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I appreciate the call, my friend.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, and you have a good holiday out there.
You too, man. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you have a good one.
Absolutely. You too.
Take it easy, man. Let's take another call. Jacob Dylan Hardy, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
First of all, this was my 6th attempt trying to call in, so I'm finally happy you finally answered.
It's not like I was just screwing you off. I was taking other callers. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I understand that, and that's why I have to say, you know who Ace Dace is, right? That's me.
Oh, okay, you're Ace Dace. Well, I appreciate your perseverance. See, it paid off. I was going to get to everyone who called in, so I'm glad that you stuck to it. What you got for me, man?
So I saw the movie last night, and it was so packed that I had to sit one row away from the screen.
Oh, God, that sucks.
And I saw it in 3D, which was awesome.
Yeah. I didn't. Germany's a little different. Here in Germany, you pick your seat. You don't go into the theater and everyone just finds their seat. You finds a seat. Here, you actually pay for a seat. If you want to sit farther back, you pay a little bit more, but you have an assigned seat that's yours. I love that. So I got to pick exactly where I wanted to be. I paid a little bit more. I paid like $9.50 for my seat. I'm okay with that. It was a great seat. It was awesome. And there wasn't really anybody there because I saw it here in Germany, and it was an English showing with German subtitles. So I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of people in the theater, and that's exactly how I wanted to see it. It was awesome.
Anyway, so my favorite part of the movie, you know when the girl escapes, I forget what her name was, it's Ray or something, right?
Ray, yeah.
And I forget what the guy with the red lightsaber is. He walks in and he starts cutting up all the doors, and it pans over to those 2 stormtroopers that just stop, turn around, and walk away. That was just so funny.
It's like, because I like that whole thing with Kylo Ren's petulance. He's like a child, you know? He's an absolute child, and he has those rage fits, and you could just see the other the stormtroopers completely being F this. F this. I loved it. Michael Mendoza says they do that in the States too. I didn't know that they were doing that in the States, Michael Mendoza. I appreciate for the info, but I did not know that they were doing that. They didn't last time I was there, but it's been 14 years, so.
I really like how they brought back the Death Star as like a much bigger thing, and it actually had. I called it the Death Hoth or Hoth Star because it was snowy.
Hoth Star. Yeah, some people aren't happy with it because they feel like, oh, it's just another.
I was happy with it. It blew up 6 planets at once, other than 1.
You know, I don't have a problem with it. A lot of people are like, well, it's just another Death Star. The whole movie is a retelling of A New Hope, so of course there was going to be another Death Star, but it's a death planet, and it was awesome.
And it took a lot more than 1 missile to blow it up.
Yes, and I felt that was cool too. I felt that it took a good 20 minutes of just pounding the fuck inside and out of the planet to blow it up. I felt like it felt like a monumental task. It was awesome. Poe's a badass, by the way. I'm just saying.
And I like to say that Han took the Sergeant Johnson from Halo way out because he went out with a bang because the planet blew up.
Yes, he did. It was pretty good. What's your rating on Star Wars, man?
100 out of 10. I loved it, and I thought it was going to be crap.
I'm glad. You know, I didn't think it was going to be crap. I was not exactly sure what to expect, and I was thrilled with what happened. I really did. I loved it. Anything else for me, man? I'm going to try to get to the rest of these callers, and I'm going to get up out of here. I'm tired.
No, that's all. See you later.
I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, bud.
Yep.
Let's take another call. Matt J, you're live with Dead on Dave. What did you think of Star Wars?
I'm just gonna give my rating. I thought it was a 9 out of 10.
Awesome.
I rank it right behind The New Hope and Empire. I saw it for the second time 2 days ago, and I liked it even more than I did the first time. So I really enjoyed it.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
Who do you think? Because I was kind of disappointed with Snoke. Who do you think he is?
Snoke. I think he's Darth Plagueis.
Me too. It like you could tell by like his design. It looks exactly just like him.
Yeah, I think that's who he's gonna turn out to be, and I'm okay with that. I think it's you need a new big bad, and he is a big bad. He is the bad of all bad. So.
Yeah, I also really like the scenes with Maz Kanata. I thought she was great.
She might be the new Yoda. I do like her. I thought she was really cool.
I really hope we see her in the next two movies because I really enjoyed her.
She was a scene stealer, man. She stole scenes. It was great.
Yeah, she did. But I want to talk a little bit about the scene where Rey touches the lightsaber and she sees the Knights of Ren.
She has her Force awakened. Yes.
Yes. Do you think there's a reason why they threw Obi-Wan and Yoda's voices in that scene?
Yeah, I do. They threw old and young Obi-Wan in there. Yeah, because it was speaking directly to her. It was showing her destiny. It was giving her her path. It was unlocking the Force for her. So yeah, anybody who had a connection with that lightsaber, anybody who had a connection with that bloodline, because I do think she's going to ultimately end up being Luke's daughter. That's because her and Kylo being cousins makes sense. I thought possibly that she could be his twin sister and do the same thing with Luke and Leia, but that'd be way too much on the nose. Having them as cousins, I think, is a little bit better.
And also, you see in the flashback as well, some two dudes taking her away, and you see a ship flying off. I think that was Luke leaving her on Jakku.
Yeah, that's what I think too. That's what I think too. I thought I really did think that Jakku was going to be revealed to be Tatooine. I really did, but it doesn't look like it is.
Yeah. My favorite scene in the movie has to be, and I know a lot of people are going to complain about it, but the fight between Rey and Kylo I thought was amazing.
I loved it.
And that part where Kylo's reaching for the lightsaber and it falls into Rey's hands and the music, oh man, that was.
It was cool. A lot. Some people are upset at that. People were a little bit pissed off that she just started using the Force, yet she was able to snatch that lightsaber. She has a connection to that lightsaber. So even if she is not a better Force wielder than Kylo Ren, and he threw her around quite a bit in the movie using the Force, but the fact that she has a connection with that lightsaber, which they hammered home, they let you know there's a connection with her in that lightsaber. That allowed her to be able to overpower him in that instance to get the lightsaber. I thought it was great. I have no problem with any of this movie.
Well, I don't have too much problems with it, but I just think a 9 is the perfect rating for it.
I agree.
Also, will you be reviewing SmackDown tonight?
No, I don't think so. I'm exhausted. I'm so damn tired. I'm exhausted. More than likely, I'm going to sleep here in a matter of minutes, hopefully. If it turns out I can't sleep, there's a good possibility that I wake up and do it, but I don't see it happening. But if I don't, I'll be doing SmackDown tomorrow. I'll be doing match by match, segment by segment, and do that stuff. So we'll see.
Well, you have a great one, man, and I think I'm going to bump up my rating a little bit. I'm going to go 9.5.
All right,
love
man,
it.
that's cool. I appreciate the call, Matt. Take it easy, buddy.
See ya.
Good call. We've had some good callers tonight, man. Everybody having a good time tonight. I'm having a good time tonight. Are you having a good time tonight? Yeah. We're all having a good time tonight. Hope you guys are enjoying everything that's happening in the mother fuzzing chat there. Oh, you just called, Matt. What's up?
No, this is Sonny, man. This is Sonny J, man. What's going on with the Star Wars stuff?
This is the same number that just called.
Dog, this is a different guy, though. That was my little boy that called.
Oh,
man.
okay. What's up, man?
Listen, the part where the father died, that was a great scene right there, man.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. I loved Han dying. I thought it was well done. Yeah.
I'm not really a Star Wars fan, but I got a custom Xbox, so.
It was definitely a lot of fun. What did you think of it?
It was all right, man, but I'm not really a Star Wars fan, though.
That's okay. You don't need to be. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More into sports and the music and all that.
Well, at least you got some enjoyment out of this movie, and I appreciate the call.
All right, man. God bless.
Take it easy. You too, buddy. I was about to blow him up. I thought I was getting trolled. Ace Day, Stave, who's your favorite diva? We're not talking wrestling, dickhole. XLT Gaming and Podcast. Having a show on mute really brings out Dave's sex appeal. What's up? What's up, Tutal? I dance for Tutal. All right. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me talking Star Wars for the last hour. I really needed to do it. I needed to get my Star Wars off my chest. Tutal, you could probably unmute. It's okay. I hope you guys had a good time in the Chizat. And if you haven't seen Star Wars, make sure you go see it and tell me what you think about it. Hit me up on Twitter. And at Dead on Dave V. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. And we will see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't think I'm going to be doing SmackDown, but I am an attention whore, so you never know. I shouldn't do SmackDown. I desperately need a break. I'm exhausted. I'm beat the F up. So tired. So tired. So hopefully I'm going to get some sleep here and rest because my batteries just do not feel like they're recharging. So hopefully that'll happen. I don't know if I'm doing another show this week. I'll probably stop in and do a little Christmas video. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Let's go out on that damn awesome ass Star Wars music again, shall we? Thank you guys for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Peace.